Hey guys, this is Jay. So I haven't done like a random video in a while. I think the last one I did was the BTS rant. And so I'm just gonna do, there's like a lot of stuff that's been going on the past couple weeks. So I'm just gonna breeze through these real quick, and hopefully it's not gonna be too long for you guys. So yeah, the first topic, I guess I might as well just merge these two into one. So it's Sulli leaving FX and Jessica officially leaving SM. So Sulli leaving FX. I made a video about it when it first had announced that she was going to be leaving FX, but at the time SM was like, we're looking into it and blah blah blah. But they officially made it announced that she was leaving the group to focus on her solo projects, or more so her acting. Honestly, I'm not surprised that she left FX based on the fact that I think she just hit like her breaking point. It's just like people were just saying some, like, just the most malicious things about her, and then I guess she was just like, you know what, I'm done. I think she just wiped her hands with it, and she's like, you know what, I'm just done with this music shit, and I'm just gonna focus on my acting. I'm gonna just spend time with my man and call it done. And I mean, it's unfortunate that she had to leave the group. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's like people have their breaking point. I think she just hit her breaking point. She was like, I'm done. It's like every time, I think people blamed her for the whole FX, red light situation and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel bad for Sulli that she had to leave the group. I mean, I feel bad when anyone has to leave a group, especially in circumstances like this. Or it could have been avoided to where people didn't have to, like, spread stupid ass rumors about people. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, like they say, words do hurt. And again, like I said, I just feel like she was like, I'm done. It's like I said, it just takes, you can only take so much before you just like, I'm done with it. So, I mean, I wish Sulli the best. Yeah, I think, like, I just read something that she's like been considered for like a a new acting role. So, what I'm saying, I hope everything works out with her and her relationship, and her, hope everything works out with her and her acting and stuff like that. And I think FX, or FX, is going to continue as sport, and I think they're supposed to be having a comeback in September. So I'm excited to see what's going to go on with that. And I think like FX just came out with two singles in Japan with Pinocchio and Hot Summer. I am dead set against that, but you know what? I don't work for SM, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So again, good luck to Sulli and her solo projects, and I'm excited to see what FX is going to do now therefore. And now Jessica was leaving SM. Now, I'm surprised with Jessica because we've all known the history of SM. If anyone leaves the company, they hold a serious grudge, and like it's this ongoing battle, with the artist or anyone that decides to leave the company. I mean, we've seen this with Hangin, we've seen this with JYJ, we've seen this with Chris, Luhan, and now it's probably going to be the same with Tao. So we've seen this done before. So it's like this isn't new. But I'm surprised that they just let Jessica go with, like, they're not like trying to like ban her, blacklist her like they did like JYJ, and most likely they're probably going to do the same shit with like Chris and Luhan and maybe Tao. But I'm actually surprised that they just like mutually just ended things. Jessica's doing her own thing as I'm going to do them. So yeah, I'm really surprised that like it is not going to be like this beef between these two. And I'm just, honestly, I just wish that it's this, it would be the same with everyone else. Like, why can't, Chris and Luhan and Tao do their own thing, and why can't like JYJ do their own thing, and why can't Hang and come, do their own thing and not have to like not be allowed pretty much to come and do things in Korea anymore. I just think that's so stupid. I don't get it. It's like you let, you have no problem with Sulli leaving FX, cool. You don't have a problem with Jessica leaving SM, cool. But why is with everyone else it's been this big ass, problem that's been, brewing for years. I mean, like, if I'm not mistaken, didn't this whole JYJ situation take like 3 years before they, before they came to an agreement? I don't know, but like I said, I'm just glad that, with Sulli and Jessica, that like there is no problems with SM, that they can go their own, go their own way and do their own thing. And I just wish that this was the same for everyone else before them that left SM. Okay, and speaking of Tao, Tao just recently did a interview with Sina, and in the interview, he pretty much was talking about the issues with SM, and like I know when Chris had left EXO, he had made like this Instagram post, and he was really upset, and then because of that, Tao actually regrets what he did, and he wants Chris to forgive him, and hopefully they can like, mend their relationship. Because I mean, according to him, he hasn't spoken to Chris since he left. Now, honestly, I can understand why he was upset, because I know that him and Chris were really close. Like, I know other members of EXO are like close to each other, but I know for a fact that Chris and Tao were really, really close. And I mean, it's messed up that when all this thing popped off with Chris, I didn't know that he didn't tell anyone that he was leaving. I figured that EXO would have been like known before, like, oh, guys, this ain't working out for me. I don't like how this is going down. I'm out of here. I figured that's what he did, but he didn't. So I can understand Tao's, perspective of why he was upset. I mean, we're close. So say if like I'm a friend, me and you are friends, and you're going through something, and you don't tell me about it, and you just go ahead and do your own thing, and I find out about it later. Like, I'll be upset, because as your friend, if anything, you should come to me regardless of whether you think I might judge you or whatever the case may be. Like, I would be upset. So I can understand what Tao's going through, because it's like, I kind of don't blame him for being upset, but I know a lot of people, when it happened, people had something to say about it, and they was kind of like going off on Tao about it when he made the post on Instagram and stuff like that. And then also there had been like rumors of that, like he was like, I think he like pushed Baekhyun during a concert, but according to him, it was like there was no, like, he has no problems with the group, so there's no issues with EXO. I think Tao's problem is just with SM. So he said he still loves the members of EXO. He has no problem with the members or anything like that. It's just his issue is with SM, and that he's saying that he doesn't understand why people would make it seem like he was like trying to be malicious towards Baekhyun, when according to him that wasn't the case. So again, just like with Sulli and Jessica, I just wish Tao nothing but the best. I know he just released his mini album, and I know he's doing stuff in China. And like I said, I just wish him nothing but the best. And I hope that, Chris and Tao can, work things out and, kind of mend their relationship. Because, I mean, it'll be unfortunate if they don't, fix things and they just, end things how it went. So I'm hoping things can, be fixed with them too. So next is Mino was fined. Mnet was fined because of the whole Gynecology line on Show Me the Money. I think that was episode 3. And so yeah, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I know that the Korea Association of Gynecology, I probably said that wrong, I know they really had a big problem with it, and I think the maximum fine for Mnet is 50 million won, so that's like $43,000 here in the States. I don't know if that's like the official, like, the official fine, but I know that Mnet does have to pay for a fine. I don't know if Mino himself has to pay for a fine, but I think definitely Mnet's going to have to pay for a fine because of what he said. Now, I mean, maybe because I'm from the States, so like when rappers do their whole freestyles and stuff like that, there's been times that people have said some crazy shit. So I'm used to hearing stuff like that. I don't know, I didn't really feel anything about what Mino said when he did the freestyle, when he did the battle on episode 3. So I didn't really think anything about it. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever, he said it, and kept it moving. But at the same time, I do have to remember that this is Korea and it's not America. So, some things like that people aren't really going to be okay with. So I have to remember, I have to remember this is a whole nother culture from mine. So, I mean, I guess, if I was from that culture, I can understand why people think that would be really inappropriate But so yeah, I think, like I said, Mnet's gonna be fine. I'm not sure if Mino himself is gonna be fine, but I know for a fact that Mnet is gonna be fine for what he said. And honestly, it's like, show me the money. It's just been like a whole bunch of drama this entire season with like the whole idol rapper thing and the whole Mino line, and then Zico with the whole drunk driving situation, and it's just like a whole, and then it's like Black Nut with the song he made like a while ago, and it's just like, oh my, it's just like a whole bunch of drama with Show Me the Money. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And next is Hyuna's released the trailer for her new 4th mini album. I think the name of the album is A+. I could be wrong. At least that's what I saw when I saw the trailer. And I know a lot of people had something to say about the trailer. Honestly, I mean, this is Hyuna, so I would have been surprised if she didn't do anything like what was done in the trailer. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't really okay. It's kind of like half and half. Like, some people okay with her doing like sexy kind of concepts, and some people aren't. So I know a lot of people kind of want her to go back to like the bubble pop change kind of era, not continue on with like Red and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, like I said, I like Hyuna, period. So I'm here for whether she wants to go back to like the change era or she wants to continue doing a sexy concept. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a problem with females and, you know, whether solo artists or girl groups doing sexy content, as long as that they're comfortable with it. I don't like the fact when these companies trying to force, like, shove this shit down their throats, like, you gotta do this. So like, prime example, I just read an interview with Stellar when, you know, when they came back with Verado, and they talked about the fact that, you know, they have to do sexy concepts because it gets their name out there and it get more popularity and shit like that. But when it's like, when they did do a cute concept, nobody was checking for it. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't get that. It's like, you rag on these girls for doing sexy concepts, but then when they decide to do something cute, you're not checking for it. So it's like, you can't get mad at them for doing something, you know, doing something sexy, when they do, you know, they do something else, you're not here for it. So it's like, it doesn't make sense to me with that. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's, and again with like Hyuna, it's like, this is new. We've seen her done this how many times? It's her 4th mini album, and she's done this type of stuff with 4 Minute, and she's done this stuff with Troublemaker, and she's done this stuff, you know, with by herself. So this isn't new. So I don't understand why people are still like all up in arms about it. Like, come on now, this is like the norm for her. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I liked it. I'm here for it. I like Hyuna. She's, you know, she's my bias in 4 Minutes. So I'm excited to see what her album's gonna be like. So yeah, so that's it with Hyuna. Next is CL's American debut. So YG had just made a statement about CL's debut in America. I know before he said she's supposed to come out in the spring. Obviously it's not spring anymore. It's like about to be almost the end of summer. So I'm thinking maybe sometime in September she's supposed to come out with the album. Now I'm thinking it was originally going to be a single, but to my knowledge, after time went on, I think it's going to be a full album. And I know CL's been like back and forth from Korea to LA. I know she's always been with like Diplo and with Skrillex, and I've seen her with all these other producers and songwriters and stuff like that. And I know like recently she's starting to do like festivals. I know she did, oh god, I can't remember the name of the festival, like the weekend of KCON, like that Saturday KCON was in Jersey, and she was in doing a festival, I think in Brooklyn. I think a couple days before, the same festival was in Philadelphia. So she did both for both days of the festival. And I think the Saturday, I think she was with OG Mako. I can't remember, but I know she was doing a festival, and I think she's doing another festival in October. So I mean, it's good that she's getting herself out there. So again, so according to YG, so like I said, the album is done. She has the film. She's filming 2 videos, so one in Korea and one here in the States. And so like I said, maybe sometime in September. So honestly, I'm more so just excited. I'm not excited, but I'm just kind of like anxious to see what's the ending product gonna be? Like, is she gonna go for like a kind of similar 21 sound? Is she gonna do a whole nother sound? I have no idea, because like the only thing we've heard from her was Dr. Pepper. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like, CL, that's my girl. So I mean, I'm gonna ride for her regardless, whether this flops, whether she, you know, shoots the superstardom in America. Honestly, like, I really don't care. I'm just happy that she's able to do her own music, and that she's able to come to America, because I know she's been wanting to do that for a while. So, and then I know people have been wondering, so what's the future with 21? I mean, like I said, CL's in America. Dara finally has been doing acting. Honestly, I've been saying that Dara should have been acting like years ago, but you know what? I don't work for YG, so you know, whatever. So I know Dara's been doing some acting. Minzy's been doing some traveling. I know she's been like been to America a couple times and just, you know, just pretty much chilling. The only one I'm on the fence about is Bomb, because she's pretty much been ghost, I think, since the end of the YG family tour. It's like the last time probably people have seen her. And I mean, it's unfortunate that this happened, to the fact that we're like, we don't know if she, like, is she coming back? Is it, you know, what's going to happen? Is the dynamic going to be the same since she's been gone? So we don't, honestly, I'm kind of anxious to see what's going to happen with 21. I know a lot of people think that, like, oh, since CL is going to be in America, 21 is going to date, you know, disband, blah blah blah. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, according to YG, that they're supposed to be having a comeback like maybe the end of the year, but we all know YG can't tell time, so I'm just gonna take that with a grain of salt. But whenever they do officially come back, I'm gonna be excited, because those are my girls. I'm riding for my girls. I'm just happy that I kind of wish that Minzy had this opportunity to have a solo, but I know right now, like, the main focus is Big Bang. But I just wish that, like, this would have been like the perfect time for Minzy to like drop a single or something. It's like I said, Dara's doing her acting, Bomb's kind of just chilling in the background, CL's in America. This would have been a perfect opportunity for her to drop something, because I mean, all of us Blackjacks been dying for Minzy solo for God knows how long, and I don't know, I'm waiting for it. And then we've seen her, like, you know, post clips of songs she's produced on, like, I think with Vine, I think it was like Vine, I can't remember if it was Vine or Instagram, but you know, so we know that she's been writing and producing her own stuff, so we know she has it in her. It's just, we just waiting for YG to give her the stamp of approval so she can actually, you know, release her stuff. But what, you know, whenever she decides to release something, I'm gonna be excited, because again, that's my girl. And yeah, so like I said, I'm, you know, the future 21, I'm still optimistic about it. I just wish that, like, YG kind of, like, you know, did more with them than he has. But you know what, I'm not gonna go on a, you know, YG 21 rant, because I don't got time for that. It's okay. So next, Yoona from Girls' Generation and Lee Seung-gi unfortunately broke up after a year and 9 months. According to reports, it was due to scheduling issues. So I mean, it's unfortunate they broke up. I mean, I get sad when anyone decides they want to break up. Like, I was, you know, a little sad that Tiffany and Nick had broke up and whatnot. So I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like it was kind of like bad timing anyway, because it's like, at the time they announced the relationship, like, Girls' Generation was just about to come back with Mr. And I know Lee Seung-gi, he was doing like his own thing. So I mean, I can understand, you know, not being able to like actually spend time with each other because they're, you know, doing crazy ass schedules. So again, you know, it's unfortunate that these two broke up, but yeah. So I mean, I wish these two nothing but the best. And next is Donghae. They SM had you know, officially announced that Donghae is going to be enlisting on his birthday, which is October 15th, which sucks. It's like, who wants to enlist into the army on their birthday? But whatever. So so yeah, Donghae is going to be enlisting into the military on October 15th to do his 2-year mandatory service. You know, I'm a little bummed because Donghae's my bias, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta go, you gotta go. So it's like, the quicker he goes in, the quicker he comes back out. And I know Siwon is also supposed to be enlisting to the military at the end of the year. So I don't know exactly when Siwon's supposed to be going in, but I know before the end of 2015 he's going to go into the military as well. So it's like, I wonder what's going to happen with Super Junior, being the fact that they have 4 members in the military. So we're going to have to see. Maybe there'll be another Cry subunit. I don't know. I don't know what Onya's going to do with himself now that Donghae is going to be in the military. I'm just kidding. But yeah. And speaking, and continuing on with enlistments, Yoochun from JYJ also announced that he was going to be enlisting to the military, I think later this month, but he's going to enlist quietly. So I think they said, I think the end of the month, I think before he goes into the military, that him and Junsu is gonna do like a last hurrah, like a fan meeting before he has to go into the military. And so yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Junsu is the only TVSQ/JYJ member that has not announced going to the military, because we all know Jae-jung's already in there. Yuno's just went into the military. Changmin is supposed to be going. They said like maybe like the end of the year. If not, then like early probably next year maybe. But I know he's going into the military as well. And then they just announced Yoochun's supposed to be going to the military at the end of this month. So yeah, Junsu's the last one standing. I guess he's trying to knock out a couple more of these musicals before he has to go into the military. But it's just crazy to me that like all the TV at OT5 is like pretty much in the military. So it's like my brain is racking, like, are they going to be in the same like base or anything? Like, are they going to spot each other? I have no idea how the military works in Korea, but it's, you kind of wonder as a fan. I wouldn't call myself a Cassie just yet. I'm getting there, but as a fan of OT5 TVSQ, you wonder like, is it possible they're going to spot each other? Like, it's going to be like, hey bro, how you doing? Or are you going to like, I don't know. I have no idea. I kind of wish it does happen, so they can like, have this big, gigantic reunion. Okay, I'm going like way off, but yeah. So surprisingly, that I found out that JJCC is adding 2 new members. So I think they released like a teaser picture with the 5 members and 2 new members, but they're blocked their faces, so we have no idea what they look like. We have no idea how old they are, what their name, diddly squat. So surprisingly, they're adding 2 new members, and I know they're supposed to be coming back with their second mini album on the 20th. I think so. So like, I'm guessing maybe close to the 20th they're gonna announce the 2 new members. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about them adding 2 new members. I thought JJCC was fine with the members that they had, but honestly, again, I don't work for these companies, so it's whatever. Like, I'm just used to seeing the 5 of them. Now it's like I have to get used to 2 new members, which is, it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. It's just something I just didn't see coming. So yeah, so I'm just, just wish luck to the new members in JJCC, because I really do like them. They were like one of my favorite rookies from last year. Unfortunately, they're not like really popular. Like, I think out of all the rookies that debuted last year, like JJCC is kind of like down there. So I mean, like I said, I wish nothing but the best for JJCC. And last but not least, it's been said that Evol had technically disbanded. So according to reports, Cho PD decided to merge Stardom with another company, and also with the mergement with another company, he only took Juicy and Say with him, and the other 3 members had their contracts terminated. Now I know, like, not too long ago, Yano and Kiddo had also just announced that they had like a bit of a issue with Stardom with mismanagement. And I know a lot of top class have been wondering like what the hell's going on with Stardom, like, because I mean, honestly, like, Top Dog doesn't promote that much, and honestly I don't think they had a comeback since Amadeus. I mean, I know that they're going to Europe soon, and they're going to do like a, you know, showcase there. I know like earlier this year they came to America and they had a showcase out here, and I know like again they're going to go out to Europe. I think like London, Paris, Milan. I think that's it. But they only went to 3 countries over in Europe and do like a little showcase or whatever. But yeah, like they haven't had a comeback at all. The only thing I've heard of Top Dog is Kiddo and Yano doing Show Me the Money. That's it. So I don't know, like I've always been on the fence with Stardom, especially after the whole thing with Block B. So I have no idea what's going on with Top Dog, and unfortunately that Evol had disbanded. Honestly, I don't know why. I mean, at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not really surprised, because like these girls didn't really come out with stuff like that. I mean, they debuted 2012, and then they had like a mini album in like early 2013, and that was it. I think Juicy maybe released a mixtape like after that, but like that's the only thing I've heard from these girls. And it's like at that time it was like the main focus was Top Dog. And even with Top Dog, it's like, again, they don't really promote that much, which is like, okay. So I have no idea what's going on with that. And according to reports that the other 3 members had no idea, they're kind of like wondering why they had their contracts terminated. So it kind of reminds me of when Diddy, he took Bad Boy over to Interscope. I don't remember the company, like the label he was on before he went to Interscope Records, but when he left, he only took certain people with him. So I think he only took like French Montana, Machine Gun Kelly, Cassie, and oh my god, I can't think of who else he took. But I think at that time, like Day 26 and Donnie, he didn't take them with him over to Interscope, which was like messed up, because I was like, oh, I'm thinking you're going to take all of your artists with you, but no. So it just, you know, the whole thing with Evol, it just reminds me of what Diddy did a couple years ago. So I mean, I know a lot of people aren't really like too fond of Troy PD, period. So honestly, like this, especially again with the whole Block B situation, this doesn't really surprise me. So I mean, I don't know, being the fact that the other girls, you know, their contracts were terminated again, I just hope maybe they'll go to another company, or maybe some of them will go independent. I have no idea, but I wish them nothing but the best, and I hope Stardom gets their shit together, because we don't need another Block B situation with, you know, Top Dog. No one needs to deal with all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's all the topics I wanted to talk about. I'll probably do this from time. I'm not going to do this often, but from time to time, I'll just probably talk about stuff that's been going on in the, you know, the Korean industry and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you have anything that you want me to talk about, leave a comment, and then yeah, that's pretty much that. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.